Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Clean water is one of our most valuable resources. Conserving it should be all of our responsibility. Remember every day to make every drop count. Wash full loads, take shorter showers, turn off your faucet. Water, use it wisely. Let's commit to conserve.
and by Madarva, providing mobile vision and hearing screenings to prepare preschoolers for kindergarten. It's been a streaky month for the Flying Squirrels. With a revamped offensive attack and a new-look bullpen, Richmond is ready to turn the calendar to the final month of the season. In this episode, learn what it's like to throw a bullpen session with former big league pitcher and current Flying Squirrels pitching coach Steve Kline. Also, much of the recent offensive success of the Squirrels can be attributed to CJ Hinojosa, and the shortstop stops by the studio to discuss his red-hot second half of the season. Believe it or not, the summer is almost gone. With only a handful of homestands left, don't miss out on your chance to have fun and go nuts. Now here's your host of the Flying Squirrels Insider, Jay Burnham.
And welcome back into Flying Squirrels Insider. Glad to be with you as the calendar is about to turn to August. Believe it or not, the Flying Squirrels season is about to wrap up. We're going to talk about what's in store for the final month of the year. But first, we'd like to remind you, if you want to win free stuff, you can text us to FSI, scratch off to win at 63975. Mobile marketing services provided by Opt-in Technologies. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase necessary. Also, big thanks to our partners, including Utility Buddy from the City of Richmond Department of Public Utilities. It makes us aware of Richmond's natural gas safety program. If you cook or heat with natural gas, then you live near a natural gas pipeline. If you expose or cause damage to a pipeline, no matter how minor it might seem, call 646-7000. Also, big thanks to the folks at Madarva in providing their vision and hearing screening program, an educational program with a screening component, providing free state-of-the-art vision and hearing screenings to children about to enter kindergarten. You can check them out at screening@madarva.com. All right, with that said, I'll bring in my broadcast partner, Sam Ravitch. And Sam, it's been a bit of a streaky end of the month of July, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been streaky, but the Squirrels have been putting together a couple of good wins, couple of good games, and I think it's important for them to continue to play like that and finish out the month of July, hopefully with a couple of solid wins.
Yeah, they had won 3 in a row, including taking the Harrisburg series to start this previous homestand, but there was a bit of difficulty on the last road trip where the Squirrels took leads late into the 8th and 9th innings but couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the 8th and 9th innings for some reason seems to be a little bit difficult. The Squirrels have the pieces in the bullpen to finish out the 8th and 9th innings and solidify some wins, but it just seems like for some reason the walks have started to hurt them in the 8th innings. When you allow free bases, that's when it comes back to hurt you.
Cody Hall, Tyler Sear, these are all guys that are accomplished at this level, and you're hoping that they would be able to get more opportunities to finish out games for the Flying Squirrels. But the offense didn't really give them a lot of wiggle room in that previous road trip where the Squirrels lost 4 games in the 8th inning. They were just one-run contests.
Yeah, the offense has to own some of the onus, too, as well. It can't just be the bullpen coming in high-leverage situations with 1 run, and you expect them to hold on to that game every single time. They're going to make mistakes eventually. They're not all perfect. So the offense has to provide some leeway when you ask the bullpen to come in and save a game.
And they have been providing a little bit of extra punch. We'll talk about that in a second. But the starting rotation for the Flying Squirrels really has caught on here. Coming out of the All-Star break, Sam Coonrod leading the way. But there's a new guy acquired for the Giants in a trade, and that's Tyler Herb.
Tyler Herb with the big league hair. You said it last night. Tyler Herb has provided some really solid innings, especially his last 2 starts have been really good. He's gone out and given the Squirrels 7 solid innings. Even yesterday, he went through 6, didn't allow a run, and allowed just 4 hits. So he was really good on the mound. That curveball that works down in the zone, cuts across the batter. He also just keeps it inside, in on the hands of batters. Very tough to hit.
He's fun to watch. You mentioned the hair, but he throws strikes. He's able to get ground balls, and he was acquired in a deal with the Seattle Mariners, essentially for cash consideration. So it seems like a pretty solid pickup for the Giants.
I would say so, and what he does is provide some solid back end of the rotation help. And when you have guys like Matt Gage who went up to the next level, and you have like Andrew Suarez who go up to the next level, you need some guys to come in and help you out. Tyler Herb has done just that.
Yeah, over 100 strikeouts this year for Herb between 2 different AA leagues. All right, now let's mention that mashing offense for the Flying Squirrels. Casey Hobson and Jerry Sands, 2 guys that are relatively new to the team, and Sands had his first couple of home runs up in Akron.
You talk about fun guys to watch.
Yeah.
Casey Hobson, Jerry Sands are fun to watch at the plate. Sometimes you might go and go to the bathroom, let's say, if there's some regular guys at the plate. Casey Hobson, Jerry Sands,
stick
not
in your
those
seat,
guys.
right?
They're sticking to your seat. Casey Hobson, 6 home runs so far this month. 18 home runs for this Flying Squirrels team so far this month. They had 18 all of June.
Yeah, so you can see that power coming around. That's something that they hadn't been able to really get with the loss of Chris Shaw early on in the season up to AAA. So Hobson, I think it's fun to watch because he'll get out in front of a pitch sometimes, and you think he has no shot of hitting it into the outfield, and he'll one hand drive the ball to the wall.
And we've seen him hit more foul ball home runs, I think, than he has hit home runs. So he'll provide some of that power, much needed power for this team.
Also for the Flying Squirrels, it's guys up at the big leagues on a regular basis that used to play here in Richmond. Carlos Moncrief, the most recent call-up for the San Francisco Giants. Of course, it's been a bit of a down season for San Francisco, but that's provided opportunities for guys like Moncrief and Kyle Crick, who's stuck up in that bullpen.
And I think it does a couple of things for the players on this team as well. It shows them that the opportunities are going to be there for them if they can improve and play like some of these guys that have called up. You talk about Moncrief, a guy who was here a couple of games last season. We thought he might actually start here this season, but got up to AAA, and he's been playing well. He gets the opportunity.
And how about the Giants staying with Kyle Crick? I know there was some frustration for him when he was pitching here. He was here for parts of 4 seasons as a former first-round selection, and they kept with him, kept working with him, and all of a sudden you're seeing that fastball translate in the big leagues.
It's a funny game that we call, isn't it, Jay? Sometimes, when Crick was here, had some struggles just getting the ball over the plate for strikes. The balls, the walks were a problem. Figured it out up to AAA. Gets the call-up, and that's kind of the more important thing. You see these guys improve, progress to the next level.
And the trade deadline is here. The Giants trading Eduardo Nunez. That opened up a spot on the 40-man roster for Carlos Moncrief. And so you see guys at this level saying, hey, maybe if another deal is made, it could be my turn.
It could be. And I think, towards the latter parts of the season, you're going to see some of these players get called up. It's not out of the question that you see guys like C.J. Hinojosa get the call up to the next level, even maybe to the big leagues this season.
I'm glad you mentioned Hinojosa. He is our guest today. Thanks a lot, Sam.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, more to come here on Flying Squirrels Insider, including an interview with C.J. Hinojosa himself. But before that, we're going to take you into what it's like to throw a bullpen with pitching coach Steve Kline. You're not going to want to miss this coming up here on Flying Squirrels Insider.
What we got, Sunshine? What are we working on today?
Fastball down the line.
Fastball down the line? Let me know when you're ready. Oh. Keep that front side right there on it. You know what I'm saying? This can't go that way. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Stay on line, stay in direction and go right through it. Oh. So that's more crisp right there, it's through it.
What are some of the things that you're trying to work on when you're throwing a pen?
With me, I'm always trying to work on be a fastball low and away to a right-handed batter.
So that's the first pitch that you're throwing?
Although I throw that for a while, actually,
okay.
Until you get it down, because that's the hardest pitch to throw, in my opinion.
Hey, Derek would have called that a ball.
Oh my gosh. That was a very tight zone.
That's okay, you gotta just throw it right over, whatever they call it, you gotta throw it.
Very tight.
We've been struggling with our fastball command all the way through the system, so we're trying to get a lot of fastball command going. So I'm trying to tell these guys, sit over the plate, let's just throw strikes. I think you should try to throw all strikes in the bullpen. I don't think you're trying to throw balls in the dirt, or up over the head, or I think you should just throw strikes with everything you have. Boom. So it's nothing with your arm speed, it's just your front side. Sometimes you leave with it. Once that leaks, everything has to speed up to catch up.
What's one of the things that he's been kind of instructing you on this year when you're throwing your bullpens?
The fastball down and away. He says if you can throw that, you can make a lot of money. He always says that. So.
Do you ask him, did he throw that?
Yeah, he said that's the pitch he could always throw. So it works.
And it made him some money.
It made him quite a bit, I'd say.
The home run that the guy hit, did it have actual poof, or was it just kind of?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I threw it well. I think he saw it 3 times though. And he saw it previously.
I just didn't like the high fastball after the 0-2. I like after you threw a breaking ball backdoor. Remember, you threw kind of a backdoor pitch to him, 0-2.
Swinging.
It was 0-1. Remember? No, he took it. He kind of was frozen.
That was the same one.
Ball. And then I was waiting for it to come again, and you tried to throw a high fastball, and you went another high fastball, and then he threw like 2 sliders in a row, and he fouled too often.
Well, the thing it just comes down to if I was just able to throw that, he couldn't have hit it.
You got to start being able to feel that arm when it drops. That's when you push and it just runs. And you have back. So that should be your key. Okay, I feel it. I feel it. See, I'd rather have you miss like that than. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have you miss there than.
Yeah, I mean it's behind him
instead of just pushing and having it run flat.
Is it hard when there's nobody standing there to kind of know where you're throwing?
Sometimes we'll have people stand in, but I like to work on the fastball command low and away with no one in there.
Well, I usually stand in. Yeah, I'm terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I got hit in the ribs a couple of years ago by Linscomb, right in the ribs, and it knocked the wind out of me because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And you watch the guys when you're up in the big leagues; they kind of throw the ball where they want to. You know, I came down here, I made the rookie mistake of going like, talking to the catcher, and he just wound up and hit me, smoked right in the ribs. It wasn't pretty. Was that a grunt? Did I just hear you grunt?
What?
Are you trying to be a bum gunner? Grunting?
Yeah, if I do that though, I usually get over it. Over the front leg.
Yeah, right there.
How often do guys throw bullpens? What's the routine? What's the cycle throughout the week?
Since we're on a 6-man rotation, 2 days off, a throw, 2 more days, and then pitch in the game.
What about relievers?
Relievers every 3 days. They have to be up and off the mound.
Regardless of how much they pitched?
Regardless how much they pitch. Some of them, I need them to always be up and ready to go. I think 3 days is a long time for a reliever. So if they want to throw some by themselves, I usually tell them, just tell me, and I'll let them get a little work in.
Do pitchers enjoy throwing bullpens?
Depends if you're pitching good. If you're pitching good, you love throwing every day. If you're not, it gets long, and because you're kind of putting stuff in your head. You're trying to figure out things that's going on out in the field that have been going wrong. So it can work either way.
Yes, sir.
So you see what I'm saying with that changeup? Sometimes you get here and then you really try to get it. Just let it. Hey, this will all be fluid and smooth. Fluid and smooth. Just throw it. Like that. And just do it with your whole. And you put your whole body into it. See how you leak out on that?
Yeah.
Try it. Think about this one right here. When you come up with that changeup, stay over your balance. When you get here, I want you to try to almost pull your chest back and get your hand over it. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Instead of getting underneath it and pushing it. That's what I'm saying. You're getting here with your body, and then instead of being here and then going this way.
Straight leg.
Yep. I just like to do it like almost like a Ginsu knife. You're coming here and they say Ginsu, like a sword, like a chop.
It's got to be violent.
And it has to be at an angle.
Yeah. Wow. Chris Archer said make an X. That's what you got to do. You got to make an X. You go over like this, I get a cutter.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You can throw one straight down. You can throw another one. Now, if you just get out in front of that a little bit more, like this,
down.
I'm talking about out here. That thing's gonna have. Just hang on to a split second longer. That's all. Split second.
Honestly, in my time as a baseball player, I would say I've pitched the best games when I've thrown really bad before the game.
I've heard that from other guys. Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, and I've had some games where I've thrown some of the best pitches ever in the bullpen before the game, and then I get out on the mound and it's
See, I do it on the broadcast. I feel like I got my adjectives and my nouns popping, and then the lights turn on and I just don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's kind of like what it is.
How many pitches are you typically throwing for a bullpen?
Well, if the kid went pretty deep in the game last time out, I kind of cut it down to like 30, 35. If he went only 2 innings or 3 and struggled a little bit, didn't throw many pitches in the game, I'll bump it up to about 50. But we try to work on some things. So, it's only 30 pitches, but it might take 15, 20 minutes because you're doing a lot of talking, like, to ask him how he feels, different grips, different types of things. You look for spins on the ball, all the good stuff that you typically look for.
Thank you.
Oh, boy. Well, we continue on Flying Squirrels Insider. I am now joined by Flying Squirrels shortstop and infielder CJ Hinojosa. CJ, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's talk about this season a little bit. You started off a little bit rough when you arrived here in May, hitting .222. You improved that to .350 or so in the month of June. Now you're back down to .300. What can you credit some of that success to as far as just the average?
Really just being more selective with the pitches that I swing at. Put a little bit more time in the cage, and you know, watching video of the pitchers that I'm going to face. Do a little bit more studying, and figure out what that they're going to do to me whenever I'm in the situations that I'm in.
But before you arrived here, before you were drafted by the Giants, you started your career really at the University of Texas, and that's where it started. You played a couple of seasons there. Talk about what you learned at UT and that you were able to carry with you into your professional career.
You know, I learned a lot. I mean, I encourage every kid to go to college because, I mean, college experience is definitely what I say every player needs. I learned a lot from pitching coaches, hitting coaches, defensive coaches, and you know, I mean, it's kind of molded the player that I am today.
Why is that? Why should every baseball player go to college? Because there's a lot of talk, you know, if you save a couple of years not going to college, you just go out of high school, it might save you from injury. Why is going to college important?
I just think you kind of find yourself. You know, you have 3 years before you can get drafted, and you find who you are, you become a man, and I mean, there's some guys that don't need it. You look at Christian Arroyo, and you know how quick he got up there, and it's awesome to see guys like that. But not everybody develops like he does, and you know, some guys just need a different path and a learning curve that they need is college.
All right, so CJ, you arrived here in May, like we said. A couple of players got called up. They were all-stars, get called up to the next level, like Matt Gage. Miguel Gomez got called up all the way to the big league. So they decided to allow you to play in the All-Star game. You were nominated, rightfully so, because of the way that you were playing. Talk about that experience and also a special visit that you got from one of your family members.
Yeah, it was awesome. I had a blast. My mom came out, and she hadn't seen me play in a couple of years. And, you know, we had a blast out there. Got to spend some time with her. My birthday was like 2 days later. So, you know, it was really cool to see her out there, have her there, watch me play, and, you know, it was a special moment to me.
And family's important to you because I know
big
that.
Time.
Yeah. How has your family kind of helped you in your playing career? Because it's so tough to be away from family. I know that you are always in constant contact with them. How have they helped you?
You know, they always supported me since I was a kid. I mean, I've traveled around since travel ball started when I was like 9. So, you know, they've been there for me. My mom's always been there for me. Always, you know, text away, call away, and really, she just says keep going. I mean, she's my rock, so I do everything I can, and whenever I go home, I stay with my mom, and you know, she's one of my best friends.
And I want to ask you a question about your number now. You've worn number 9 for quite a while. You wore it in college. You wear it here. Miguel Gomez actually wore it when you arrived, and when he got called up, it was given to you. Why is number 9 kind of your number, your go-to? Is there a reason for it?
No reason. I was 6 in high school. I got a necklace that my stepdad gave me, and then went to college, and there was no 6. 6 was taken by upperclassmen, so there was a 9. So like Drake said, switch the 6 upside down. It's a 9 now.
I like that. I like that. All right, last one for you, CJ. The end of the year is starting to come up. What are a couple of goals that you have personally for yourself? You're one of the top-ranked prospects in the Giants organization. You've been playing to it as well. A couple of goals that you have.
I mean, my main focus is just to finish strong, and you know, maybe we can sneak into the playoffs. That'd be awesome. But you know, personally, just finish strong, continue being the leader on the team, and you know, help the team do whatever I can for us to win.
That's CJ Hinojosa joining us here. Coming up next on Flying Squirrels Insider, we get a little bit of help from our friends at Madarva talking about some rotator cuff injuries. Keep it right here on Flying Squirrels Insider.
We're here in the Flying Squirrels batting cage with left-handed pitcher Nate Reed and Dr. Alex Vapp of Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And Doctor, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, great. Thanks to be here.
We're going to talk about rotator cuffs today. Did
Great.
you ever have a rotator cuff injury?
Luckily, no,
Okay.
but I've seen a lot. So,
Can you maybe show us here with Nate Reed, who also hasn't had a rotator cuff injury, we're happy for that, what the rotator cuff is?
yeah, so the rotator cuff in basics is the main group of muscles that comes over the shoulder from here and attaches out here, and it allows us to do a lot of our daily functions. Things for people out there normally, taking off their shirt, washing their hair, combing, things like that. For pitchers, it's one of the most important groups in terms of their windup. When it usually is doing its most work is in the late phase. So as Nate brings his arm back and he's right up here, this is where his arm's rotating outwards and those muscles are really getting most of the strain. And then as he rotates and follows through, that's where most of the strain is, right here on the rotator cuff. It relaxes a little bit as he releases the ball, but that's what really gives them their velocity.
So what are some symptoms if somebody has a rotator cuff injury?
First, a lot of time it starts out just as general shoulder pain. People will describe discomfort on the outside here, kind of a deep ache, and it can worsen. Sometimes there's an inciting event, so someone will feel they were lifting something and felt a pop, and then as it progresses, they start to have pain at night.
If they feel that pain, what are some of the steps or some of the solutions to solving that problem?
Obviously, initially, you want to treat anything conservatively, so give yourself some rest, try some anti-inflammatories, ibuprofen, things like that. If it really starts to worsen, then that's when you want to come in and get checked out just to make sure there's nothing drastic at that point in time.
And if it is drastic, then there are some possible surgical implications.
We always try to do the least invasive first, so whether it be physical therapy, injections, different exercises, stretching, all that can help people get back symptomatically and try to prevent surgery. But if need be, we're obviously able to do that.
And for those that are, us normal folks,
Yeah.
is there a way that you can kind of prevent rotator cuff injuries?
Some of it is unpreventable, but I think the biggest thing is just common sense and not trying to overdo things, especially yard work, landscaping, not trying to lift too heavy weights over your head or activities over extended periods of time. And just when your body starts to tell you it's enough, then take a break. One of the biggest things for pitchers, and especially if I'm coming in to evaluate one of them that's been having some shoulder pain, I always want to check how they are in their flexibility. So if they haven't been staying up with their stretching, that's usually the first step that we have them work through. And then have them back off from their pitching, and then as that pain improves, they start to get back into throwing.
Sounds good, Doctor. Thanks for being here. Nate, thanks for letting us use you as a prop today. All right, we'll close out things this week here from FSI Field, and we're going to talk with CJ Hinojosa about a particular play that he's been able to make this year. Derek Jeter has the Jeter jump. We've dubbed CJ Hinojosa's spin move the CJ Twirl. And CJ, before we get to the move, I want you to take us through just defensively what you're looking for at shortstop. What are your preparations before the pitcher throws this pitch?
Mine's kind of simple. I don't do too much. I have like a left, right, and then it's like whenever I get down. So
as the pitcher's throwing,
as he's getting ready. I mean, at the top right here. I mean, I'm probably already like here, and then right whenever it goes into ball goes into the plate, I hop here, so now I can just go left or right.
So now you're mobile right here.
Right.
Okay, so say for instance, we've seen this a couple of times this season. A ball gets hit up the middle towards second base. We're going to have you field this and take us through the play.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I'll field it out in front, typically behind second base. Field it out over here, and then from here, it's not as difficult as it looks. It's just I'm making a blind throw, but I'll field it, and it's kind of like just a dance move, and then I'll throw.
Just a dance move.
A dance move.
So your other option would be when you field it here to then try to get off a throw, but your body would be out of whack, right?
Right. I mean, you can turn around and make a throw from here, but whenever you throw from here, usually the ball's going to come, it's going to sink around.
So your spin move gives you, I guess, more of a line to first base.
Right. A blind line.
All right. Let's see it again. Maybe more towards second base. Boom. So you just got to trust that blind throw.
Right. I mean, I trust myself, and I've done it quite a bit. I just hope I don't ever hit a fan. But
how many times have you hit a fan?
None, not yet. Oh. But I have thrown maybe one to the dugout and kind of scared some guys. So.
It's an exciting play.
It is. It's fun.
What is the first baseman, I guess, what is he thinking when he sees you twirling?
You know, I'm not sure. I have to ask him, but typically I put it somewhere in the vicinity that he can make a catch. I don't throw anything in the dirt usually.
Does the hair come into play? I mean, you got the hair flowing through on the twirl move.
No, you know, the hair's coming out this year, so I mean, the hair, I'm sure it looks good now, but
yeah.
in previous years it wasn't there.
All right. Well, we've enjoyed watching that move, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. That'll do it for us here from FSI Field. Big thanks to CJ Hinojosa and the entire crew here at the WCVE studios. Also, my broadcast partner, Sam Ravitch. Until next time, and we're running out of time. Only 2 more shows left in the 2017 season. We hope to see you at the ballpark as the calendar turns to August. Until next time, my name's Jay Burnham saying so long, everybody.
Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Smell gas? Act fast. Don't just stand there. Leave the area. Get out. Go where the smell is no longer present and call 911. Making you aware, keeping you safe. We're Richmond's Natural Gas Safety Awareness Program.
and by Medarva, providing mobile vision and hearing screenings to prepare preschoolers for kindergarten.